6 months ago, while everyone was celebrating the market highs, I was getting nervous. The signs were there. Record credit card debt, ballooning national debt, and rising unemployment. That's when I stumbled across Robert Kiyosaki's warnings about a greater depression coming in 2025. Most people laughed it off. I took action. And what happened next shocked even me. Let me take you back to where this all started. I was scrolling through financial news when I saw Kiyosaki's prediction. This coming Great Depression will cause millions to be poor, and a few who take action may enjoy great wealth and freedom. The economic indicators were alarming. Credit card debt had hit $1.21 trillion, and all-time high national debt had ballooned to over $36 trillion. Unemployment was steadily climbing, reaching 4.2%. 401 balances were shrinking as market volatility increased. Most financial advisors were still pushing the traditional stocks and bonds portfolio. But something didn't feel right. The system seemed more fragile than ever. That's when I decided to dig deeper into Kiyosaki's controversial advice. Kiyosaki's recommendation was clear but radical. Invest in Bitcoin, gold, and silver as protection against what he called the coming Greater Depression. His predictions seemed outlandish. Bitcoin reaching $1 million by 2035, gold hitting $30,000 per ounce, silver climbing to $3,000 per coin. I was skeptical. These numbers were far beyond current values. But the more I've researched, the more I realized other respected voices were saying similar things. Jack Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder, predicted Bitcoin would hit $1 million by 2030. Founder of the world's largest hedge fund, was advocating for gold. Even traditional banks were quietly increasing their precious metals holdings. After weeks of research, I made a decision that would change everything. I would reallocate 30% of my portfolio following Kiyosaki's advice. Making the decision was one thing. Actually executing it was terrifying. I still remember sitting at my computer, finger hovering over the buy button for my first Bitcoin purchase. My friends thought I was crazy. My family was concerned. Even my financial advisor warned against it. "You're gambling, not investing," he told me. But I wasn't acting on blind faith. I had done my homework. 1. I studied the historical performance of gold during previous recessions. 2. I analyzed Bitcoin's growing institutional adoption. 3. I calculated how much I could afford to allocate without risking essential savings in January 2025. I finally took the plunge. 15% of my portfolio into Bitcoin, 10% into physical gold, 5% into silver mining stocks. The first few weeks were the prices fluctuated wildly, and I questioned my decision daily. Then in March 2025, it happened. The market started to crack. First came the layoffs. Major tech companies cutting thousands of jobs. Then the housing market began to cool rapidly. By April, the stock market had its first major correction, as traditional investments plummeted. Something unexpected happened to my crazy investments. Bitcoin surged as people sought alternatives to the traditional banking system. Gold prices jumped 18% in just 2 weeks. Silver mining stocks nearly doubled as industrial demand remained strong. While friends watched their 401s drop by 30% or more, my overall portfolio was actually gaining value. The assets Kiyosaki recommended were performing exactly as he predicted. As hedges against economic instability, by June 2025, my unconventional investments had more than doubled in value. While the broader market continued its decline, the financial gains were significant, but the emotional journey was even more impactful. Going against conventional wisdom isn't easy. I faced doubt, criticism, and plenty of sleepless nights. There were moments I nearly sold everything and returned to the safety of traditional investments. What kept me committed was understanding the fundamental reason behind Kiyosaki's recommendations. These assets aren't just investments. They're insurance against a broken financial system. Bitcoin offers protection against currency, devaluation, and banking failures. Gold and silver have been stores of value for thousands of years, outlasting every fiat currency in history. The most valuable lesson wasn't about getting rich quick. It was about developing financial resilience in an increasingly uncertain world. As the economic situation continues to unfold in 2025, I'm not claiming to know exactly what will happen next. But I do know I'm better prepared than I was 6 months ago. If you're considering a similar path, here are the key lessons from my journey. 1. Start with education, not action. Understand what you're investing in and why. 2. Diversify strategically. I didn't go all in on any single asset, even within the alternative investment category. 3. Only invest what you can afford to have tied up long term. These assets can be volatile. 4. Consider dollar cost averaging instead of timing the market. I bought in smaller amounts over time. 5. Secure your assets properly. For crypto, that meant hardware wallets. 4. Gold, proper storage solutions. The goal isn't to abandon traditional investments entirely. It's to build resilience through diversification beyond just stocks and bonds. So what do you think? Is Kiyosaki right about the Greater Depression? Are alternative assets like Bitcoin and gold the answer? Drop a comment below, sharing your thoughts. And if you've already started investing in these assets, I'd love to hear about your experience. If this video helped you think differently about protecting your wealth in 2025, please hit that like button and subscribe for more financial insights. Next week, I'll be sharing the exact resources I used to learn about secure Bitcoin storage. Remember, financial preparation isn't about fear, it's about freedom. See you in the next video.